The Walking Dead, Brothers Bound. Chapter 6. Enter the Serpents. The convenience store sat filled with the attackers from the night before. Lucy lay in a bush quietly watching them. She counted at least 5 people. 2 of them with assault rifles. Lucy guessed they came prepared in case they had another run-in with other people. 2 of them had pistols and 1 of them was equipped with a bow. They had a van. It was small, beaten and dented. They were picking the tinned food, bags of flour, easy things to move that had the most usage. Lucy watched them for a little while when suddenly she could hear rustling of leaves behind her. She inched backwards out of the bush and stood. She then inched her way up to a small group from Humantown. "You do realize I could hear you guys 5 minutes ago, right?" Lucy snapped. "Sorry." Mark sighed. The group consisted of Mark, Ace, and Hunter. All 3 of them looked exhausted, lack of sleep due to worrying about Xander, and wanting to get the store, no doubt, and they were joined with Ben and Mikhail. "You boys better be ready," Lucy snapped. She made eye contact with Hunter, who nodded at her. She led them through the bush, leading them through the most quiet route possible. Lucy then pulled her bow off of her shoulder and drew an arrow, being as quietly as possible. "The second I make contact, it's a fight," Lucy whispered. "Do it," Mikhail replied. He was ready to get revenge on them hurting his younger brother. Lucy released her arrow. It flew through the air and hit one of the guys straight on in the head, killing him instantly. He dropped to the floor and dropped a box of canned goods, which spilled over the ground. The rest of the group grabbed their guns. Mark and Mikhail ran out of the bush, aiming their guns, and the group opened fire. Mark and Mikhail returned the shots with their own bullets. Mark managed to clip one in the leg. He dropped down, clenching the bullet wound, and screamed out in pain. Ben and Ace ran in. Ace swung his machete and killed the wounded guy. One of them aimed his gun at Ace, but Mikhail sprayed bullets through him, and the 2 other guys ran into the store, hid behind one of the stack of groceries. The Humantown group hid behind the van, using it for cover. "Okay, guys, we've been on the opposite end of this. The store is great cover," Mark stated. Ben leant over and aimed aimlessly at the store, firing rapid shots, causing cover fire. "I've got an idea. Keep him occupied," Hunter barked. Then he got up and ran off into a bush. "Hunter! Ah, damn it, new guy," Ace growled. Mark and Ace joined Ben in firing into the store. The 2 hidden guys leant out and opened fire as well, everyone hoping that they'd make a killing shot. Hunter had returned, running in frantically with 2 walker heads in hand. He ran as close to the store as he possibly could and threw one of the heads into the store. Everyone looked at the second head. Its jaw was moving and its eyes was moving around frantically. The heads weren't dead. Everyone stopped firing their weapons as the sound of the head bouncing off the wall and hitting the floor echoed. The 2 men screamed out and scurried out of the store. Hunter threw the second walker head at one of the guys, knocking him off his feet. The other guy, in a straight panic, ran off. Lucy burst out of the bush and fired an arrow, hitting the runaway in the chest. He dropped to the floor, blood spilling onto the ground. Hunter ran over to the guy who had now thrown the walker head away and dropped to one knee, and ran his knife into the guy's skull, killing him. Everyone else climbed to their feet and they started packing the food as much as they could. They made sure to stab each of the dead guys in the skull so they wouldn't come back as walkers. They also found the keys to the van on one of the dead guys, so they stacked the van as much as they possibly could, almost to the top, and Mark and Ace climbed in and drove the van. They drove slow and careful just in case, whilst the rest of the group walked behind it. The van drove into Humantown, and Mark climbed out and opened the back of the van. Some of the town members ran over and helped empty the van and put the canned goods and the bagged goods where they all belonged. Mark then grabbed Hunter and led him to the council. Hunter did something really reckless for sure, but without his actions, I do not know if I would be standing here talking to you guys, let alone with a whole van full of food that we managed to get, Mark explained. Hunter scratched his hair awkwardly. "Well, Hunter, reckless actions aside, I think it's safe to say you've acquired yourself a position here in town. If you and your brother wish to stay, I mean," Sam told him. Sam grinned an awkward grin. "Well, thanks. I'll tell Jake," Hunter said. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot which echoed outside. It was then followed by the sound of the townfolk panicking. Hunter and Mark, followed by the council, rushed outside and followed the commotion, and they saw 2 cars in the gateway. A small squad of well-equipped men and women stood there. In front of them was a man, an older gentleman wearing all black, topped with a cowboy hat, also black, matching the rest of his suit. "So this little piece of pie home's the asshole who killed my men," the man sniped. The townsfolk started whispering and murmuring. Billy and Jim stepped forward. "Welcome to Humantown. My name is Jim. and this is my brother Billy. We lead this place. And if you don't mind me asking, what accusations are you referring to? Jim asked. Oh, piss in a pot of gold. What is this, high school? You damn well know what I'm talking about. The convenience store. The man barked whilst pointing his finger at Jim. Easy now. Your men attacked ours. Billy snapped. No one messes with the Serpents. The man sneered. The Serpents? What does that make you? Hunter barked in. Name's Simon Rattletail, and we're here for the canned goods and the other bits and bobs you stole. We claimed that store. The man roared. An arrow hit the ground a few inches in front of Simon Rattletail. He looked up at one of the nearby watchtowers and saw Lucy with another arrow aimed right at him. This does not have to be a fight, Billy barked out. You started this fight. You made this a war. You killed my people, stole my goods, even used living walkerheads as a torture tactic. Simon growled. Hunter swallowed hard. He was confused on how Simon knew all of this information. I have spies everywhere. I've had you followed. It led me here. I must admit this is a nice little town. Yeah, well, it'll be a better town for myself and my group once we move into it. Once we rid your lifeless corpses out of here, at least. Simon sneered. Jim took one step forward, ready with his mouth open to snap back, ready to fight back for his town and its people. But before he could utter a word, Simon quickly pulled out a revolver and pulled the trigger. The sound echoed, followed by the many gasps leaving the townfolk as Jim dropped to the ground, blood spilling into the mud.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tai Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channels, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.